Okay, so this video pertains to the January 6th so-called insurrection, which it wasn't an insurrection. It's just one of those things. I'm just letting you know I don't believe it was an insurrection. I do believe that crimes were committed, and I am disappointed in the way some of the criminals were handled. And here is my take on it. Okay. So when it comes to protesting, which I'm a big fan of protesting, I'm a big fan of the First Amendment. There is time, place, manner. So the time to protest was then, the place in which to do it was then, but the manner was violated. If you can't do all three, you're doing something wrong. And the place was okay as long as it was in the publicly accessible areas of a citizen. So walking around the gate, like how many times have we watched a movie like, let's say, Forrest Gump, and you'll see them protesting the Vietnam War. Nobody's in on the other side of the gate. They're on the outside of the gate holding signs, not trespassing, but presenting their complaints to the government, which you're allowed to do in your protest. I stand by that. Anybody who did that and is being harassed by the federal government needs to be sued. The people doing the harassment need to be jailed. You are violating their rights. They have the right to do that. They could sit outside that gate and do whatever they want. Now, the people who crossed the gate went in to where they're not allowed to go, where people have to be either vetted or you have to have permission. This is a secure place. I'm not saying that the president or congressmen or senators have more duty to be secure than you or I. We have duty to be secure too. That's why I'm a Second Amendment advocate of where we should be able to defend ourselves against people who are violating us. So, but you're not allowed to go there. So now you're trespassing. Now, they were citizens, all they were doing was trespassing. How it was handled is where I'm at. So at the time when they were doing that and people were coming in wearing masks and wearing backpacks, those people could have been bombers. They could have had bombs. They could have had weapons. You don't know what they got. And the Secret Service snipers allowed them to cross the grounds and go inside. And on top of that, and then they don't care if the cops open the door and willy-nilly let them in. Those officers need to be fired for doing that, for those people, okay? You want to have peace and no discord or whatever, I get that, okay? When people wear masks and wearing backpacks, you don't know what they got. You're not allowed to do this. You can't, it's like on a regular day, you can't go in with a mask and a backpack and not let anybody search it and go roaming around, on a regular, like today. You couldn't do that. You'd be arrested. Okay, so anybody who crossed the fence, crossed the barrier, broke in, whatever they were doing to get on lawn, I think those people should have been shot. I think anybody wearing a backpack, wearing a mask, headshots. Bam, bam, bam. Take them out. You don't know what's going on with them. We need to protect our property. It's our property. It's the people's property. We don't know who this guy is or where he's from. He needs to be taken out. By taking those people out, everybody else is going to run away, which is fine. They don't need to be there, and they could be, arrested or given tickets for trespassing. And I totally agree with that. But those people they let in wearing masks and backpacks. Bobbitt was wearing a backpack. We don't know what's in the back of that backpack. It doesn't matter if it's a girl. It doesn't matter if it's a protester. You don't know what's going on, what's in their head. You don't know what's in there. This is the White House, for crying out loud. If you didn't allow people on your property who wore backpacks, you can't go into a grocery store some days and wear backpacks, or 7-Eleven, a convenience store. No backpacks allowed. There's no backpacks allowed on the White House. People are just going to let you just willy-nilly in there. Granted, grocery stores, convenience stores are private property, and the White House is public property. But time, place, manner. You can't go into a courtroom, not saying courthouse, courtroom, and violate the rules of the court. Judge says, these are the rules. You're going to be arrested. You're going to be tried. We're going to take you to jail. This stuff happens. You violated the rules of the White House. And as far as I'm concerned, you got away with it. So and the people who like to have in jail and not allowing anybody to see their lawyer or forcing them to, this is freaking, excuse my language, this is Korea talk, okay? You would have said, like the basketball player, I don't remember her name, don't care, was arrested for bringing pot or oil or whatever into Russia. They're like, you're going to say you did this or else. Because they would have just held her there. And that's what I think is going on right now to those people who they've got arrested. It's the same thing that they did to her in Russia. You're not allowed to tell people they can't see their lawyer, they can't speak to their lawyer. They need to have their day in court. Oh, but they were terrorists. Oh, I get that. Then take them to Quantico Bay and have them see what's going on in Quantico Bay. Let them see how are they terrorists. They were protesters. They were trespassing. They were violating laws. I get it. They need to be held to that. Okay, and none of them are being labeled as insurrectionists. Okay, they're not being found guilty of that. They're being found guilty of trespassing, and then they're serving years in jail. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. These people who are treating these citizens in this manner need to be fired and arrested for violating rights of a U.S. citizen. And I just, the way this whole thing's being handled is ridiculous. A lot of people would have just left the property if they would have took out the bombers or could-be bombers. They'd have took out the could-be bombers. Everybody else would have said, okay, we've had enough. We give. We'll go outside and we'll protest properly out here. Okay? And the FBI, like, oh, we can't answer how we had people in there. That person needs to be fired. He needs, look, these people lied to Congress. And it's another thing. Lying to Congress is a joke. You can lie to Congress all day long. They ain't doing nothing about it. Give the finger, tell them you're not going to talk to them at all. Like, well, you have to testify. No, I don't. No, I don't. It's called the Fifth Amendment, you moron. You ain't any more, telling, you can't tell citizens they have to testify against themselves. Well, you're testifying that, yeah, but, maybe what I say might be held against me. I mean, look at, I wish I could remember his name, Michael, the guy that was the head security guy for Trump in the beginning. And then he's like, oh, I misspoke. I don't know what he misspoke about, but let's say instead of it being blue, it was baby blue. You lied to us. We're going to have to send you to jail. They didn't do anything to Congress. So that's ridiculous, too. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a farce. It's a bunch of clowns. You're asking questions, and these people are lying, and you're not doing anything about their lies. And these are laws in the books that anybody that lies to Congress needs to be prosecuted. And you know what? They can just say, I ain't going to testify because I'm going to exercise my Fifth Amendment right. As a matter of fact, where's my Sixth Amendment right of having my lawyer present? Where's that? Where's my 14th Amendment right or is it 14? Yeah, I think it's 14th Amendment right to being treated unruly. You want me to come in here and testify to you, but the reality is I ain't been charged with a crime. I don't need to come here just because you sent a subpoena to me. I'm going to show, okay, I showed up. Here I am. Now what do you want? You ain't got nobody arrested. Nobody's charged. So you're not a witness to anything. They're not charging anybody in a case. Like they would take you for, let's say, selling drugs, okay? And you sold drugs, and they arrested you, and then they would subpoena, let's say me, to come in and testify that guy was selling drugs. I get that. Nobody is arrested. No charges are filed. So you serving these fake subpoenas to force people to come in and testify in front of you, which you're not doing anything about anyway. You're just playing jokes, a bunch of clowns. Anyway, I hope that America gets back to where America needs to be, which is we need to protect the lands of America. Somebody wants to break down a monument. I'm sorry, some words just escape me sometimes. People want to damage a monument or tear a monument down. Why are they not being arrested? I don't care about their feelings, okay? Nobody cares about mine. Nobody cares about yours. And nobody's going to care about anybody else's. You don't like it? Walk away. You know what? That's why you vote. You vote, you get people in that lean your way so that they can vote on things for you. So you can have things go your way. And you know what? Hey, there's 50 of us, okay? And as far as the president's 50, there's 51 of us for the other things. But there's only 50 of us for voting the president. You guys can vote your own senators and your own congressmen or whatever that represent yourself, and they will pass laws. And I'm tired of seeing laws on the books, and then people say, vote for me, and I'll take care of this problem. You never do. You're a liar. And why are we not holding these people accountable for being liars? Okay? If you're going to do it, do it. Okay? I'm disappointed in Trump, as he said he was going to make my gun permit legal in all states, just like a marriage certificate, just like a death certificate. It's good in all 50 states. Okay? You get married in Hawaii, you can go to New York and live there and say, I'm married. And they'll say, okay, we see your marriage certificate. So my gun certificate should be legal in all 50 states. And it's not. And it pisses me off that he couldn't chew gum and walk at the same time. Stop telling me he was busy fighting Congress. He's the one that even said, you should be able to chew gum and walk at the same time. And he didn't when it came to that. And I'm very disappointed in that. Anyway, I'm going to digress. I think people who were doing what they were doing should have been treated appropriately. They were not. Whether or not they were arrested and they were trespassing, or whether they were maybe could be a Unabomber wanting to blow up the White House and people in it, whatever it is. People didn't get treated appropriately, and I think they should have. So that's where I am with that. I'm hoping that Trump gets elected. I do not think that the people who are running are worthy of me. Even when they're on, I don't even listen to them. They're not even worthy of it. So you guys, good luck. I hope everybody votes. I hope everybody votes. Vote. I don't care who you're voting for. Get out and vote. Show your patriotism and act like citizens and vote. Have a great day.